What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? Uh, it is I, Kush, back at it again with the Young Guns podcast. As usual, at this point, KB is late. He'll be in here probably like 15 minutes from now or something like that. But shout out to everybody in the chat. We got Jaden Dawkins in here, Kevin Cronin, Ligma. Ligma says, "You mean the big guns?" LOL. Listen, bro. Big guns indeed, even though you can't see them right now. Let me just quickly share out the stream. Where in the world is my share stream? Here it is. You guys know how I do it. I'd be like live right now. I'm sure a lot of you have gotten in these streams that way, just with me tweeting live right now. And we're going to hashtag Giants, all of that. So shout out to Toast in the chat, Vets, Edward Shan. How's everybody doing? Real quick, I just want to say, if you guys are not in the channel Discord, make sure you join that. The link is down below. I have everything on a link tree down there, so it's simple. You click on the link tree, it takes you to basically a page of all my links. The Discord is there, the merch link is there, the channel link itself is there. I think the latest video link is there. You guys should definitely check that out. Get into the Discord. It's recently started picking up a little bit more. The channel Discord has existed since the very beginning of the channel, since May 2019. The Discord has existed. I just never really used it except to let you guys know when new videos are out. Recently it's become a little bit more of a community with the NBA playoffs. I'd be in there with you guys watching the playoffs sometimes. Mike is a very big dude in there to watch the playoffs. We be chatting in the general chat, specifically Ligma and Edward, they be chatting in there. So if you guys are not part of the Discord, make sure you go down below and join the Discord. It's going to become a very fun place. And later on, I do plan to use it as a way to get another call-in show going. Last time, it was experimental. I did a Discord call-in show with you guys. It was very experimental. I might try that again. Hey, man, worst case scenario, I'll probably do one of these StreamYard call-in shows where I would have you guys let me know beforehand if you want to pop in, and I'll do one of those maybe whenever I have the time, honestly. I can't put a date on it. I was going to say maybe next week or something like that. Can't really put a date on it. But shout out to Dollar Beer in the chat as well. Toast says, my previous comment is stuck in my head. What is your previous comment? Oh, his previous comment is my intro. Okay, bro. All right. Hey, and I also learned I could now pin comments in here. So I'm going to pin that comment. I'm going to pin the Discord. I think I just have to paste it, send it, and then I could pin that comment, which is something very interesting. YouTube now allows you to pin a message live. I wonder how that shows up in StreamYard. It just doesn't show up in StreamYard, apparently. But, all right, guys, rolling here. Let's get the questions flowing. Let's get the questions going. How are you guys feeling about the Rams, man? We really spent a lot of last night's stream talking about, just kind of going over again the 49ers and whatnot. But how y'all feel about the Rams, man? Shout out to Bradley in the chat. Says, let's go Andrew Thomas, future Pro Bowler, even though I hate the Pro Bowl, because the Pro Bowl has kind of become like the All-Star game for the NBA. You don't really, I don't want to say you don't earn it, but it's become a lot easier to become one of those players. And shout out to Nikki in the chat as well, one of my channel members in here. Nikki always be showing love. Edward says, in regards to the Rams, I should say Giants at Rams, we losing by a lot. What is the plus minus on that game right now? I think it's like plus 15 for the Giants or something crazy like that. Honestly, after last week, it should probably be plus 20. And the last time we played the Rams, it was 51-17. So that's like more than 30. Like, Jesus, man. John Doe says, wow, I got a new phone. Now your stream doesn't lag on me constantly, LOL. Yo, speaking of new phone, I got to get myself a new phone soon, too. I'm going to wait until, holiday season runs around, those sales runs around. I'm going to get mine a new phone as well, man. But yeah, hey, maybe now you wouldn't have, the lagging streams on Sunday. And this Sunday again is going to be streaming for the Rams game, which I don't know, man. I'm not excited for it. You know what I'm saying? Of course I always look forward to the Giants playing, but I'm not excited for it. Toast says, I've been doing homework since 3. 1 30-minute break. I'm on my final homework. This is my second break. Hey, that's a good strategy right there, man. Usually when I do mine, I be taking breaks in between as well. You can't be doing it for hours straight on, man. Mr. Fishing says, can't be worse than losing to half of the 49ers, I hope. I want to say it can't be worse than that, but we're going up against a fully healthy, Rams team. We're going up against a fully healthy Sean McVay offense, Aaron Donald led defense. It's kind of not looking good. Like, I really find it hard to believe it could be worse than last week in terms of how prepared we were, in terms of how we looked on the field, in terms of just looking like a competent football team. I don't know if it could be worse than last week, but scoring wise, don't be surprised if it's worse than last week scoring wise, because we're going up against a fully healthy Rams team, man. Shout out to Scotty H in the chat. He says we're gonna get destroyed by Aaron Donald. And it's funny, I think I saw a quote by Sean McVay. He's like, when you're planning for this team, you're planning for the defense. I'm like, did he not see last week's game? Does he not know that we're no longer the 4th overall defense in the NFL? I think we're like 11th or 12th overall now, which is still good technically, but we gave up 39 points to a 49ers team with no Deebo Samuel, a 49ers team with no Jimmy Garoppolo, a 49ers team with no Raheem Mostert, no Tevin Coleman, no George Kittle. That's who we gave up those points to. We gave up those points to their second and in some cases their third string players. So I'm kind of thinking to myself, I don't know what that man is thinking, bro. Sean McVay is definitely speaking to look good in the press. He doesn't want to insult another team. But I'm looking, if I'm Sean McVay and I'm preparing for the Giants, I'm just like, yo, just do your thing, guys. We'll be fine. Like, honestly. John Doe says, hey, Hub, my username is Lightwork, and I'm killing it in your fantasy. 3-0, baby. Oh, I didn't know you were in my fantasy league, John Doe. All right, bro. I lost for the first time last week, and a lot of it had to do with injuries from week 2. I didn't really have any players to fill in those injured players I'm on a team. Lewis Bryan in chat, he says, I wonder if Thomas has started having Aaron Donald nightmares yet. Well, unless they're going to switch Aaron Donald out to defensive end every now and again, he shouldn't be. But I fully expect them to switch Aaron Donald out to defensive end to test out the rookie tackle at least once. But let's keep it real. The weak part of our offensive line, and our entire offensive line is weak, but the weakest part is the inside, those guards and the center. That's definitely the weakest part, and that's where Aaron Donald plays. He's a defensive tackle. He's a pass rushing defensive tackle, but he's going to feast on the inside, and I would assume they'd keep him on the inside. Bradley says Andrew Thomas can suffocate Aaron Donald. I mean, I don't know about that, man. That's you having a lot of faith in Andrew Thomas here. I don't even know if I have that much faith in Andrew Thomas. Donald is easily worse than The Rock. The Rock? The Rock as in The Rock the wrestler? Is there a football player whose nickname is The Rock and I just don't know about it? I don't know what you mean, John, though. And then he corrects himself saying he means better. Scotty H, I'm hoping the same thing, man. I'm hoping the same thing. I just want improvement. And that's what made last week so disappointing. It wasn't the fact that we lost. It's the way we lost. There was no improvement. Everybody digressed. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, declined. That's the word I'm looking for. There was no improvement. They went in the opposite directions. They took like 5 steps backwards on every single part of football. Every single position took like 5 steps backwards, yo. It's crazy. Mr. Fishing says, we gave up many points because our offense couldn't stay on the field for more than a minute at a time. Mr. Fishing, I agree with you because that's a valid point. But my rebuttal to that, which I said in my pros and cons video, was the defense gave up by halftime. And I understand why they gave up by halftime. Coming into the game, we lost our first 2 games because the offense couldn't capitalize on opportunities that the defense gave them, and the offense couldn't stay on the field long enough, barring one drive in the very first game, that 19-play drive. The offense couldn't stay on the field long enough to give the defense rest. But the defense mentally, it's too early in the season for you to mentally break down like that. You know what I'm saying? You're in game 3 at halftime, and you're already mentally giving up at the game. That's why they were on my cons list. Because while I completely agree with you, they got gassed out. Physically, mentally, they weren't there in the second half, bro. And you got to do better than that as a professional football player. Edwards says, Donald 5 sacks, book it. And then a sad face emoji. Listen, Aaron Donald, I'm not going to say how many sacks he might get, but everybody seems to be forgetting about Leonard Floyd, who's going to have a good game because the Giants are probably going to be like sending 3 people on Aaron Donald so he doesn't get to DJ. And then that means one less person on Leonard Floyd, and then he's coming off the edge, and bam, sack on DJ, man. Wolves in the chat. Shout out to Wolves. He says, Hub, watch Boku no Piku. It's a wholesome anime. I know what Boku no Piku is, bro. You're not catching me in that Genjutsu. Release. You're not catching me in that Genjutsu, bro. I will never be caught in that. I know what Boku no Piku is, bro. As a, an anime, anybody who watches anime knows what Boku no Piku is, and they stay far away from it. Edward says The Rock said he wants to play the Giants. He wants to play the Giants, or he wants to play for the Giants. And you guys are talking about The Rock, the actor, the wrestler, right? We're talking about the same Rock here, right? I know that at one point, The Rock said he was a Giants fan, which I was like, that's surprising. I didn't know The Rock was a Giants fan. That was definitely surprising. But yeah, I know. I also know, before he became a wrestler, he kind of like Brock Lesnar. I think he was either trying to become a football player or he played in the CFL, one out of the two. Bradley says Andrew Thomas is literally not human. He just buries edge rushers. But here's the thing. Aaron Donald is a pass rusher, not an edge rusher. He comes up the middle. He can come off the edge, but he comes up the middle, and he wrecks your game, bro. Mr. Fishing says, I hope DJ isn't our rushing leader this week. Facts, yo. Facts. And Joe Judge, a couple of quotes from his I hate to call it press conference because it's really not that. So I'm just going to say, his interview, I think it was today or yesterday. In one of his quotes, he was like, it's still going to be a 3 running back rotation, but they're definitely going to get Devontae Foreman involved a little bit more. I kept thinking Deion Lewis in my head. But they're definitely going to get Devontae Foreman involved more this week. Devontae Freeman. Why am I saying Foreman? They're going to get Devontae Freeman involved more this week, and it's still going to be a 3 running back rotation. That's from Joe Judge. Now, here's the thing. I want Devontae Freeman to be the feature back out of those 3 running backs because even last week, even though he ended his stat line, I think it was 10 carries for 5 yards or 5 carries for 10 yards, something like that. Even though his stat line ended up like that, he looked very efficient in the run game. He was really good in the run game. He was actually getting positive yardage. He was more consistent than his stat line implied, in my opinion. And he looked like our best running back all year, on the ground. So I want him to be the feature back in that running back rotation. I hope he gets at least 15 carries this week. I hope he gets at least 15 carries. Hopefully that results in a respectable stat line, maybe like 50 to 100 yards. I know that's a big range, but so far we haven't even had a running back have 50 yards in a game yet. So that's what I'm hoping for. I would hope that's how it goes. Nikki says, no KB. He texted me saying that he's going to be a bit late. In fact, I pushed the stream back from 9 to 9:30 because he was like, he should be home by 9:30, but he's not there yet. So whenever he tunes in, I ain't gonna lie, it's just a little bit annoying. Toast says, if The Rock played for the Giants, we would have the #1 defense. If The Rock played for the Giants, yeah, I can't imagine him on the offensive end, unless he's a tight end or something. But he could definitely be like an outside linebacker. I don't know about defensive end, but he could definitely be like an outside linebacker or a hard-hitting middle linebacker, bro, if The Rock actually went into the football. Shout out to NYG31 in the chant. Jaden Dawkins here. He says Aaron Donald's going to get 10 sacks. Jesus Christ, 10 sacks. Vinny G-Man says, why are we getting washed up running backs now? Address the damn O-line. Start per do something. We are just trash. It's scary facing the Rams. And I agree with Vinny G-Man. I don't know why we signed Alfred Morris to the practice squad. We dropped Rod Smith for Alfred Morris. Literally not a change at all. You might as well have kept Rod Smith. I don't look at those backup running backs like that, so I can't speak to their running styles. But let's keep it real. In terms of talent level and production in the league, Rod Smith and Alfred Morris are basically the same people, so I didn't get that at all. We also got Clayton Thorson and dropped Cooper Rush, in backup quarterback room, which I was like, I don't know why you're really worrying about your backup quarterbacks like that, especially your third string guys. So I didn't get that. And then Joe Judge, along with the quotes about the running back, Judge did come out and say that they're going to stick with the same offensive line for week 4. He did come out and say that. He was specifically talking about the center position. I guess that's what the question was aimed at. You know what I'm saying? He specifically talked towards the center position. He was like, it's not an experiment that we have Nick Gates there. It's definitely meant, and they're going to keep Nick Gates there. It's not an experiment. It's something that means to last the season, which I don't know how to feel about because the season is very long. If the dude starts, performing really terrible, you probably should switch him out. He didn't speak about Matt Pert and the right side, though. But if it makes you feel any better, Matt Pert already got his first NFL experience last week when Andrew Thomas started to come out a little bit. He got a little hurt. Wasn't an injury. Everything's fine. But Andrew Thomas got a little hurt. Matt Pert came in. So I'm expecting to see Pert sooner rather than later. But I'm completely on board with Vinny here because I agree with him, man. You want to address the O-line a little bit instead of like switching out practice squad players. You want to sign a better wide receiver. That's where my concern is right now. Sign a better wide receiver. Because I feel like there's not really anything you can do with the O-line in terms of free agency right now. You just got to shift around pieces until the puzzle starts looking a bit clearer. And even then, it's going to take probably weeks for that puzzle to start to look clear. It is what it is with the offensive line. I've kind of come to terms with it. But when it comes to the receiving options and the weapons, there's people out there. They're not great, but you don't need them to be great. You just need them to be good. And I'm not seeing any moves there. So that's what I'm worrying about. Scotty says we're going to get blown out on Sunday. It's funny how the times that we faced the Rams, bro, it's crazy. In 2016, we actually faced the Rams. At that time, they were still the St. Louis Rams. That was the game, I think, in England. Landon Collins had his 63-yard pick. He picked it, and I think he returned it like 63 yards, something like that. One of the best games I've ever seen in my life. In 2017, we faced the Rams again, and they were a completely different team. They got Sean McVay this time. I forgot who their old coach was. I think their old coach was Jeff Fisher. But they got Sean McVay. That was the first year of Sean McVay. The offense clicked. The defense clicked. 2017 was their breakout year, and they beat us down 51-17. Now here we are in 2018. Now here we are in 2020. 3 years later, they've already been to a Super Bowl. They're kind of returning a little bit to that Super Bowl form. Their offense is moving really nicely, and their defense has improved from what it was last year. And we might get blown out again. It's actually kind of crazy, man. Let's see here. Wolf says make him watch it live. He's. I hope he hops in here soon. Bradley says it doesn't matter. I hope Andrew Thomas just sits him and makes Donald cry. Bradley is the biggest Andrew Thomas fan, bro. How is Evan Ingram not injured? John Doe, because he plays at least 8 games before he gets injured. He plays 8 games inconsistently and makes us get angrier and angrier towards him and about the fact that the coaching staff has not used Caden Smith to the amount that they should have yet, and then he's going to get injured. That's how it works. Why would Joe Judge say he wants the 3-back rotation? I don't know. You don't have to ask Joe Judge that. I don't know, but I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know about 3-back rotation, but I would like to have a 2-back rotation. I would like to have some type of rotation back there because, Freeman is good. You know what I'm saying? He was most consistent back and whatnot, but he's not what he was. Might as well rotate him a little bit, spell him out on a couple of runs, spell him out on a couple of offensive drives and whatnot. So it makes sense to have that rotation. You know what I'm saying? And the man is here.
What up, guys? What up?
He is here, guys. And real quick, Nikki says, today is my 2-month channel member anniversary. Hey, yo, shout out to Nikki, man. And I think today is also diehard Giants fan. He became a member the same day that Nikki did. So shout out to my members, guys. You guys should join if you can. So welcome in, Kidblue. Welcome in. Yo, guys, share the stream, by the way. KB, share the stream on Twitter. I know you be forgetting to do that sometimes. Or just retweet. Yeah, just retweet my tweet, actually, and that should be good. And, guys, cool. So we were just talking about how Joe Judge in his interview today, I hate to call them press conferences because there's not really press conferences anymore. Yeah. A couple of quotes from him. The chat was talking about why does he want a 3-back rotation, because he confirmed once again that we're going to have a 3-back rotation this week, and why he didn't make any changes to the offensive line, which he said the offensive line is going to stay the same for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's going to be a 3-back rotation. I don't think there is a definitive, workhorse back that we have on the roster right now. So especially what we've seen from Wayne Gallman, what we've seen from Wayne Gallman so far, and Dion Lewis, they obviously can't carry about five carries. So and Devontae Freeman probably looked like our best running back all year, and
he did look good. I said his stats were kind of misleading. I think he finished with 5 carries, 10
yards. Yeah,
but he was more consistent than that to me when we were watching that game live.
Oh yeah, because he had a couple of good runs, but then they were the stats are skewed by some bad runs. He only had 5 carries, but there was one carry where he took it like 5 or 6 yards. For us, that's a good thing, But I mean, we don't have this needs to be a running back by committee because there's no one running back to take all the carries. So I agree with that. I agree this shouldn't be a workhorse type of situation. And yeah, we just stick with 3 backs.
And him saying that he's not changing on anything on the offensive line for the foreseeable future. A lot of people wanted, of course, including yourself, Matt Peart to start, but the question was actually asked towards Nick Gates, your other favorite offensive lineman. It was actually asked in regards to Nick Gates because as much as Cam Fleming has been struggling, Nick Gates, I think, has been the worst offensive lineman, which is understandable considering the position switch. He's been, performance-wise, the worst offensive lineman. So the reporter was asking about him, and he's like, yo, listen, for the foreseeable future, basically, the O-line's not going to change. And then on Nick Gates specifically, he's like, that's not an experiment. He's our center.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think. I mean, who else are we going to put Spencer Pulley back there? I mean, are we going to keep experimenting throughout the season? I mean, if you tried one set of offensive linemen, you probably should stick with them unless you really had a definitive next guy up. Like if somebody's killing it in practice right now, like I'm not going to say that's Matt Peart, but let's just throw that out there. If Matt Peart's killing it in practice right now and Cam Fleming continues to suck, I don't see why there's no reason they shouldn't bring Matt Peart in. Or maybe if it's Shane Lemieux that's killing it at center, let's just say, and then you replace him with Nick Gates. I mean, Nick Gates replaced with Shane Lemieux. Then I could understand that. But if you're just gonna sit here and just like a carousel and just flip flop guys around and experiment, that's probably not going to be good for your quarterback, especially at the center position. The center and quarterback chemistry needs to be there. You got it. There's a reason why when there's an injured center, the backup center always gets a few reps in with the quarterback before he comes in. There has to be a chemistry. There has to be a congruence there. So it's not fair to Daniel Jones to have different rotating centers. So I agree. Just keep Nick Gates in there, see what happens. I mean, I was never the big Nick Gates fan, but I was trying to like him. I'm trying to like him still.
I didn't like him yet, man. He ain't shown me anything to like him yet.
Right.
But John Doe was right. He just commented, let him get adjusted to the center, even if it takes time. I agree with you. Yo, I want your opinion on this.
Yeah.
If this wasn't the New York Giants, everybody would be allowed to have time to adjust. Like the offensive line would be allowed to have time to adjust. Daniel Jones would be allowed to have what, in my opinion, he's having right now, a sophomore slump. If Daniel Jones was on any other team, a quarterback for any other team, that team, that organization, that media, that fan base would allow him to go through his sophomore slump and then learn from it in his third year. But because he's on the Giants, he's not allowed to have that.
Let me tell you something. Baker freaking Mayfield. Baker Mayfield had a phenomenal first season with the Browns. Very similar to that of Daniel Jones, right? They were a couple touchdowns away from each other. They had some stuff they had to clean up. Baker Mayfield last year was terrible. But Cleveland fans still believed in him. They didn't come out here and say, well, let's draft another quarterback. Or let's bench him. Let's just clean house and start all over again. No, they're stuck. They love Baker Mayfield. They're sticking with Baker Mayfield. They see the potential in him. And Baker Mayfield really isn't where he should be even this year. But they're still sticking with him because they're Cleveland and they know what it's like to be cycling through quarterback. It seems like Giants fans want what Cleveland fans have been dreading and experiencing for years. I don't know why Giants fans want to go to a Cleveland state. It doesn't make any sense to me. I just did a film review for last week's game because everybody was begging me to do it, and they were right. I should do it, and I took the time out to do it today. I got to edit it, and it'll probably be up tomorrow.
You want to give us a little word preview of what that is?
Yeah, for sure. One thing I noticed, and I lost my train of thought a little bit, but what was I talking about? Baker Mayfield and
comparing the sophomore slumps, basically how he was allowed to have a sophomore slump.
Okay, yeah. So I'm looking at, I know exactly what I was talking about. So I'm doing the film review, and there were plenty of situations where I was like, how is Trevor Lawrence gonna make a play here? Everybody wants Trevor Lawrence now. That's all they think about. Because, of course, when you look at the broadcast, you can't see the players running the routes. You can't see the defenders, in their coverages. You can't see what's going on the field. If you put on the all-22 film, I'm talking from the third quarter.
Oh, did you get to look at any all-22 film yet, by the way?
Yes, I got to look at it. Yeah, thank God, because I was about to write a mean worded letter to the NFL. Say give me my money
Because
back.
it took like you couldn't see it last week, or it took a long time for you to see it, right?
It took a long time, and then I saw everybody else posting their damn film reviews. I'm like, oh, I'm late to the party, man. They're not letting me in. I had to tweet Mike Too Nice and ask him what the hell's going on here. He said he was able to get through, but I don't know. But so I saw a bunch of things in last week's game. From the third quarter to the fourth quarter, the Giants, the San Francisco Giants, San Francisco defense locked up. I mean, was playing. I mean, yes, they were playing good the whole entire game. But I'm
the
talking
second
about,
half,
bro, I'm telling you, the second half, they locked up. I understand why Daniel Jones couldn't get a pass off. I mean, they were so. I highlight that in a couple of plays. I could have highlighted the whole quarter, but I didn't want to make the video an hour and a half long. But I took out a couple of plays where I'm like, listen, look at the 49ers. They're blitzing 6 guys and still covering everybody on the field. That's what the Giants need to do. And one thing I noticed that the Giants are struggling at is zone coverage. We suck in zone coverage. We don't understand zone coverage. Devontae Downs sucked. Isaac Yiadom sucked. Guys like James Bradbury, Blake Martinez, they adjusted. But those guys sucked. But
real quick, I know you just got off a tangent. I'm about to put you on another tangent before you get back to the lockup. A lot of people, or not a lot of people, a couple people now, because we're all frustrated, are saying, we should have never let go of Ryan Conley. Look how Devontae Downs is. I'm like, Conley can't even get to the field.
What were you saying?
I was like, a lot of people now are saying we shouldn't have cut Conley because look at how Devontae Downs is doing. But my response to that is Ryan Conley is barely making the field.
Right. So I don't know what's going on with him in Minnesota. Apparently he's not playing, right?
Yeah, he played one snap 2 weeks ago, and I haven't seen him play since.
Okay, but is he playing special teams though? Is he participating in that?
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't know.
Okay, I'll have to look into that because I don't know. I mean, let's keep it real here. Minnesota linebackers are they're heavy at that position. Ben Gideon, Eric Hendricks, Anthony Barr. Well, he's out for the season, but I mean they're pretty stacked at that position. So I don't know. You're right. I don't know. I mean I don't. Maybe they have higher standards over there than maybe the Giants did.
I would assume so.
Yeah, so they probably don't put him in there and you're not good enough, but he was good enough for us. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think that's those type of thing. One man's trash, another man's treasure type thing. But back to what I was saying, I mean, everybody's on this tank for Trevor train. I don't know who in this chat is on the tank for Trevor train.
I don't think we got the tank for Trevor yet. You were saying something else before you got there.
Oh, yeah, I was going off on a tangent about the defense locking up.
I don't think you finished that tangent.
Yeah. I was trying to combine that together. So what I was saying is that in the third and fourth quarter, San Francisco absolutely locked up the Giants offense. I mean, receivers and all, and they were giving no pressure to the they were giving up no time to the quarterback to throw at all. I mean, as soon as Daniel Jones was off his drop back, there were guys like Evan Ingram and Darius Slayton who aren't even finished with their route yet, not even looking back, and Daniel Jones is already in being surrounded by San Francisco players. There's not anything in the third or fourth quarter that would have went different. Mark my words. There's not anything in the third or fourth quarter that would have went any better if Trevor Lawrence was there. If Trevor Lawrence was playing in that third or fourth quarter, it would look the same exact way. Let me tell you. Now, what is he gonna do? Force a guy open? Flip a little wand together and make somebody disappear on the defense? San Francisco played a hell of a game defensively in the scheme. They were putting zone blitzes out there. They were blitzing their corners and making their linebackers fill in the corner spots, and they're doing well at it. Like I said, Fred Warner, I don't know what he was graded on PFF this week. Fred Warner deserves a defensive player of the freaking week.
You know what's funny, KB? In my preview video, I was telling everybody because I had a feeling, I just knew Giants fans were going to underestimate this defense. I said, guys, Fred Warner and his name's slipping me now, Quan Alexander are still healthy. Keep your eye on them. Who's the guy that made one of the defining plays? Fred Warner, which, by the way, I will say, I agree with you. Trevor Lawrence wouldn't have made a difference. Daniel Jones was kind of strapped in that second half. Yeah. But that pick was stupid. Fred Warner was all over that. Yes, he was all over Evan Ingram, bro.
Don't get me wrong here. And I highlighted that play as well. Nobody was open. And this was, I guess you could call it a rookie mistake because this is his 15th game starting, right? I guess you could call it a rookie mistake. And, until he starts his 17th game, then I'll say he's making rookie mistakes no more. Then that's when I start to say, hey, you got to start, getting shaped up and stuff like that. But it's his 15
I want to say real quick, right?
Yeah.
I agree with you because that's the stance I'm taking. I'm going to play devil's advocate real quick because somebody brought this up to me and I was like, hey, that's actually a good point. Why do we say that he's still a rookie because of the amount of games he's played? When you look at guys like, say, I'm going to use Pat Mahomes because he's the most recent one, but there's other quarterbacks who sat their first year and then played their very first game in their second year, and they don't get that treatment in terms of amount of games played equals to rookie or sophomore.
I get that, and I would completely understand that. And if Patrick Mahomes did struggle, I know everybody would say it's his rookie year. But Patrick Mahomes didn't struggle. So Patrick Mahomes is not Daniel Jones, and I don't think anybody would ever equate that. And I get that argument, I really do. But if even how great Patrick Mahomes played, if he were to make some boneheaded decisions, I would still say, hey, it's a rookie mistake. Even though he's in the second year, he's still learning because it's his first year on the field. So the reason why we didn't say that about Patrick Mahomes was because the guy barely messed up. He barely messed up at all. So that just speaks to Patrick Mahomes' greatness, if anything. And I think we can all acknowledge that Daniel Jones is nowhere near the level of Patrick Mahomes. Or probably would never get to that level of Patrick Mahomes. So that's why people are tired of hearing us say rookie mistakes. But hey, he's basically a rookie. So in that play, in that interception, I don't want to necessarily not blame Daniel Jones, but I can understand.
You don't want to excuse him, is what you're saying.
I don't want to excuse him at all because at the end of the day, I wouldn't have made that play. That was a stupid mistake. It was under pressure, and he's usually cooler under pressure. I don't know what's up with Daniel Jones in these this year.
I think I mentioned it to you live. I was like, "Yo, he looks rattled, bro." During the live show, I was like, "He doesn't look calm.
He looks kind of shaken." And remember, this pass protection last year was terrible, and he was better under pressure.
Yeah,
he was one of the better under pressure.
By the way, PTA just popped in.
Oh, what's going on, PTA? But what's up, my brother? What's up, man?
What's going on?
What's up, PTA? I guess I should switch to this now because now everybody's cramped.
Yeah. Give me some space. Give me some space.
So finish up there, KB. I'm gonna get to a comment, and then PTA will get your thoughts on what KB was talking about.
Yeah. So, what I was saying is that that interception that Daniel Jones threw was stupid, and I'm not excusing him whatsoever. And it was a instinctive decision that he made, probably subconsciously, saying, "There's nobody open. There's a guy about to kill me. I need to throw it." That's basically what it wasn't him just saying, "Hey, Evan looks open. Let me throw it." So, because when I turned on the film, nobody was open, and there was again another edge because Will Hernandez doesn't know how to make a block at all. Or
we're gonna talk about Will Hernandez later on in the stream, bro.
I used to love Will Hernandez, but looking in this game, he's the one that allowed most pressure. They were attacking the left guard spot crazy, and so Will Hernandez lets a guy through. I don't know if it. I don't know who it was, but lets a guy right through. And Daniel Jones says, screw it, I gotta throw it. And so he threw it right at Fred Warner. I mean, I'm not excusing what he did, but I could understand why he did it. You don't understand, Daniel Jones has a lot to work on, and I don't know what it is, but last year with a worse offensive line pass protection wise, he was a lot better under pressure. I don't know. We're somewhat better in pass protection.
Guess what? It's because there's more mental pressure on him this year. Last year, he was still the guy behind Eli, even though he was starting.
Right.
There is no Eli there anymore. It's all on him now.
Especially, I want to, tie this into that whole tank for Trevor thing, because when I was watching, especially in the third or fourth quarter, I was just thinking about what would Trevor Lawrence do? And every single play, I would say Trevor Lawrence would have done nothing. Where are you going, PTA?
He didn't hear the second half. He just heard what would Trevor do, and his ear shut off. But
yeah. Trevor, I'm not on the Trevor Lawrence bandwagon. I'm saying
I have to do this every time I come on the street.
Oh yeah,
PTA. All I'm gonna say is that you should have let him finish, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
No, I know. I already know where he's going. I just did it for the entertainment. That's all.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, because I've been getting flooded with comments with Tank for Trevor. It's unreal. I mean, I'm about to pull my hair out. Okay, so I was trying to do the people justice, and that's why I made it in my film review that's coming out tomorrow. I told everybody, I said, all right, look at this play. You guys tell me what Trevor Lawrence was supposed to do. What do you think Trevor Lawrence was supposed to do? Was he supposed to wave his magic wand and make somebody disappear so that Evan Ingram could be open or Darius Slayton could be open out of nowhere? Was Trevor Lawrence supposed to get out the pocket as soon as he comes off his damn drop back and move 50 feet in the other direction away from a defender or throw the ball downfield? What do you expect Trevor Lawrence to do? I mean, I get it. He's a generational quarterback, but if you
no, we don't know that yet. We don't know that yet.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? We don't know that. Completely understand that. We don't know what he's going to do behind this offensive line. We don't know what he's going to do without a running game. For crying out loud, he has freaking one of the best running backs in the country right now behind him. Running the rock and ETN, whatever his name is. They always have a decent offensive line. They have a phenomenal defense every single year. That constantly helps them get back on the field, right? Always puts them in the right situations, So Trevor Lawrence has everything handed to him there in Clemson. Wait till he comes to a team where he is forced to be the best player by far on the team, not the offense, but on the team. Because if Trevor Lawrence were to come in here, he would have to be the best player on the team. Mm-hmm. So, and that's what Daniel Jones is trying to do. So he's trying to do a little too much, but Daniel Jones just needs to slow it down. And, at this point, I hope everybody gets NFL Game Pass. I hope everybody watches film so you guys can see the amount of, lack of talent. I'll tell you what, right now, the ending of that game reminded me a lot of Daniel Jones at Duke. Where nobody was able to get open. Right?
Wow.
And everybody thought Daniel Jones was trash at Duke. Why? Because the guys around him.
Well,
What happened?
Well.
Yes, it's all coming together, man. It's all coming together. Everybody thought Daniel Jones was trash at Duke because the guys around him. What happened when we drafted him? I love Daniel Jones. Oh my God, he was the best player on the. Yes, it's the same thing with the Giants. Everybody's trash.
Right now he is the best player on the team right now because Saquon's out.
Everybody's trash around him. I'm sorry. I love Darius Slayton. He wasn't getting open.
Real quick, before you continue, because this comment's been waiting here for a while, Vinny G-Man says, I'm not asking for much. I just want DJ to not turn the ball over this week. That's it. I just want to see improvement in progression. He's going to turn the ball over. I just want to see improvement in progression. Real quick, I think there was something else I wanted to get to. This right here. Because I've been saying this since week one. Jason Garrett got to go. I could already tell his offense is trash. I've never turned on a coordinator so quick. Listen, the reason I'm saying this is because I agree with you. Receivers weren't getting open. Darius Slayton weren't getting open. Our receivers are just terrible when it comes to getting separation. But I will say this. We're probably the only offense in the league that also doesn't try to scheme their receivers open. We expect them to get open on themselves. Yes. And that is on Jason Garrett. He doesn't try to scheme his receivers open.
Looking at the film, I was like, how vanilla is this offense? It looked like a flag football offense, if I'm being real with you guys. You ever play flag football? I'm in a flag football league. We run the most basic routes. We don't do nothing special because we don't want to try anything crazy, right? We want to be conservative.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Ligma for the $2 super chat. Thank you, man. He says Yankees up 5-4. Let's go. I'm a casual Yankees fan. Obviously, if I was diehard, I'd probably be watching the game. He says with a grand slam, and then he says Daniel Winston. He's been calling him Daniel Winston ever since.
Listen, I'll tell you right now, that's an insult to Jameis Winston right now.
All right, at least Jameis gets yardage and touchdowns, bro.
Listen, I'll tell you right now. After all defending I'm doing of Daniel Jones right now, I'd probably rather have Jameis Winston right now. I'm not lying. But I'm not going to say I'm out here trading for him, but I like the way Jameis Winston forced the ball down.
Jameis is a better quarterback right now, bro. Let's keep it 100. He's a better quarterback right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We got to take the blue lens off at some point,
Yeah.
So,
I saw PTA want to respond to your Duke comment, actually. And I agree with you. Now that you bring it up, straight up look like Duke instead of Giants out there. What do you think in PTA?
I mean.
And also, is all your pain out?
Oh, pain. Listen.
The pain, I just got used to it after the second day of in pain.
24 hours, yo. 24 hours is all you get to deal with the pain.
PTA, all I'm going to say right now, though, is you've been a fan much longer than me and KB. For me, That was definitely the worst Giants game I've ever seen. Where is it for you?
It was the worst Giants game I've ever seen.
Not only this is the worst Giants game, this is the worst freaking team I've ever seen. I'm sorry.
No, it's
No,
not.
we're currently
I've never been around in
disrespecting,
the
bro.
70s. Never been around in the 70s. I know the 70s was terrible. Never been around in there. I mean, I can only remember from like early 2000s and on. So
we weren't all that great in the early 90s either. So
Right.
Listen, this isn't the worst team that I've ever seen, but this is up there with one of the worst games I've probably ever watched.
Right.
Not Ligma. Ligma says the Titans game was worse. No, the Titans game is misleading. We scored 0 points in the Titans game,
Right.
but we were better in the Titans game, bro. Trust me, we were better in the Titans game.
Oh man, this game was so pitiful. Oh,
And that Titans team could have beat this 49ers team we just played.
Yeah,
without question.
That Titans team had Derrick Henry running.
That Titans team was not a bad team, yo. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know why we think that Titans
You know
team
what?
was bad.
That was a perfect game for the Titans because they're a ground and pound team with Derrick Henry, and it was raining that game.
So John's Opinion Sports says his worst game was 34-0 versus the Vikings in 2007. Eli threw 5 picks. It was awful.
Yeah, we won the Super Bowl though, so it's all right.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? We had such a bad game that year and we still won the Super Bowl.
Right? Like, why could we have a bounce back like that, man? Why can we have a bounce back in this year like that? I don't see it happening. I
don't see it happening either. Here's the thing, man, and I talked about this in my stream, man, because like when I watch this team right now, man, it reminds me of the first year I coached football, man. I told a big long ass story. I'm not going to tell the big long ass story here, but
give us the spark notes.
But we sucked, yo. We sucked.
We sucked.
We did. There was 50% of our defense was new. I was the assistant defensive coordinator and the defensive line coach. We were bad, yo. We were bad because we were trying to figure it out. The defensive coordinator was also new. I came on under him because we knew each other. We played together. We were bad, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, yo, this feels like that. That next year we were okay. We made the playoffs. We lost in the first round. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen with the Giants. I'm just saying like it reminds me of it. Like it reminds me because there's flashes. There's flashes where it's like, yo, that was real good. That was real good. That's real good. But it's not. We can't bring all those real good things together into one complete package. That's what this feels like to me. At least on the defensive side of the ball. The offense is garbage. Okay, offense is garbage. It's bad.
The offense has no right being this bad.
It doesn't. The offense is bad. I don't understand why our offensive line can't run block. Our offensive line is built to run block. They can't run block to save their lives. The wide receiver core is not good. We can't get any separation. Our tight ends aren't playing well.
No. Our starting tight end isn't playing well. Going back to Jason Garrett, not only is he not scheming receivers open, but he's not putting Caden Smith in the game as he should be.
Oh, listen, I was going to talk about Jason Garrett in my live, and we just didn't get to that point. But the damn play calling, I don't like the play calling.
I hate the play call. I hate just what Jason Garrett is doing.
I wasn't big on Jason Garrett to begin with, but I accepted the fact that he was here. I don't like the play calling. I don't know exactly what we're doing.
Check it out. Here's what I think is going on with Jason Garrett. Jason Garrett had the preconceived notion that, hey, this is a team that wants to run the ball. They have Saquon Barkley and a young offensive line that probably is going to be able to run block. And once he figured out in week 1 that this team cannot run the ball, he started panicking because he is a running coach. He's a running offensive coordinator.
In that case, yo, this is mad harsh, but in that case, bro, quit your job. If you're panicking after week 1,
right. That's what it just seems like to me. It seems like he had more of a running game in mind because when I'm looking at his plays that he's calling on the field, it's very vanilla.
Yo, tell me why, KB, we brought this up during the stream as well. You guys really need to check out what made KB stream these games live, bro. Will we be calling mad stuff? We brought it up. Why is he only running on second down? In the second half, he seemed to never run the ball on first down. It was always on second. It's like he's allergic to running the ball on first down.
I just don't understand what the game plan is for this offense because, like, as it stands right now, I can't tell you what our offensive identity even is.
That's funny.
I can't even tell you what our offensive identity is. So like, yo, what's the game plan? Like, what are we doing here?
Right.
It just doesn't make any sense what we're doing. And then here's why I want to kick Jason Garrett in his balls. So the play that we fumbled on, the pitch to
That was
to
Oh
so
my
Evan,
God.
stupid.
What a
Why-
dumb play.
why in the hell are you pitching to Evan Ingram?
Who has the worst hands on our team by far?
Pitch. Why is like Darius Slayton not in on that?
Oh,
play?
Christ.
Why is
Yes!
he not the focus?
Yes, that's what I'm. Yes, one thing I noticed in there is that Darius Slayton was always on the backside of the play, as if he was like the escape option. No, he should be your number one option.
Yes.
There's a play that I highlighted. I think it was in like I have it in my notes here. Forget it.
What
It's
am I,
too-
bro? What have I
but-
been saying, bro? I want y'all to answer this too when KB
Yeah, go ahead.
finishes, he's bringing up his notes here. Why isn't Darius Slayton being involved? Is it because he's not getting open, or is it more because Jason Garrett for some reason is not
It's
using this dude?
It's a mixture of both.
Let's hear what you're saying,
The position that Jason Garrett is putting Darius Slayton in, it's not getting him open. They're not, like you said, they're not scheming their wide receivers open. They're not getting them open. They're
No.
having Darius Slayton run easy slants and goes downfield like as if that's the only thing that's supposed to get him open. Nothing crazy, like not even a stop and go. All I'm saying is Darius Slayton
you said
posted
DJ
downfield.
looked like DJ at Duke because of the talent. They're making Darius Slayton look like he looked at Auburn when he had one route.
Exactly. And so I point out here in the first quarter, and I got my notes here, put my nerd glasses on. In the first quarter, with 8:59 left to go in the first quarter, Darius Slayton was open on a route. And this is the play. I don't know if you guys remember the play. This is the play where we're like about on our own 10-yard line. I believe it's like second down and 10 or something like that. And and Jones just dumps it off to Wayne Gallman immediately. And Wayne Gallman's like tackle for 2-yard gain. Okay. On the back side of that play, remember the play side is where your first read is. The play side is where you're looking, and then you're going through your progressions and you're moving from right to left, whether that be left to right or right to left. The play side is the right side. That should always be where Darius Slayton is at, the play side. Okay? He is their best receiver. That's where you put him. Where do you have Darius Slayton was the last read, and guess what? That pressure was coming so quick, Daniel Jones didn't even have time to look at his last progression. So he had to dump it off to Wayne Gallman, and he missed an open Darius Slayton, easy for a first down on an out route, where he beat Verrett.
So man, Kidblue, you are impressing the hell out of me every time I hear you talk about X's and O's, and I love it. Now I want to break it down Barney style because I'm a Barney style kind of guy. All right, because what Kidblue was talking about is the front side and the back side of the play and progression. For those who are confused by that terminology, is the front side or the back side? Okay, if you are a right-handed quarterback, your progressions start from the slot in a counterclockwise motion. Okay, if you're right-handed, if you're left-handed, it's the left side slot in a clockwise motion. Okay, so when we're talking about the front side, if you're right-handed, when you drop back, I'm gonna be a coach right now. I get the ball, I drop back, right. My shoulders are facing my hand.
The right side.
So my shoulders are not quite square, slightly perpendicular to the sideline. Where my eyes are at, that is called my front side. Your back side is exactly that. It's the back side of the play. So your progression goes slot, number one wide receiver, number two if there's one there, if not tight end, and so forth and so on. Okay. That is exactly what Kidblue is saying right now. And the fact of the matter is that you're 100% right. Darius Slayton and Daniel Jones have a connection. They've had a connection since day one. Why is Darius Slayton not lined up on the front side or on his front side of the? I don't understand that. So when we're running a gadget play or trick play for those who don't understand gadget, when we're running a gadget play. Why in the FUKKKKK is Darius Slayton not the guy that's running that reverse for that pitch? What are we doing here? What are we talking about, Jason? That's elementary, okay? My wife could figure that out. My wife could figure that out.
Yeah, man. I don't know why. And that play was so screwed up from the get-go. I mean, Caden Smith ran into Daniel Jones, and I don't know if that's why Daniel Jones pitched it a little too high, but Caden Smith just nudged them right there. And Daniel Jones like this a little bit. I was like, what the hell are we doing here? I mean, Evan Ingram can't catch the damn ball. Daniel Jones is throwing it up too high. Evan Ingram was too close to Daniel Jones. What kind of toss is that? It looked like more like a handoff. You're supposed to be farther than that. A little bit past the line of, past where you're at. Caden Smith runs into him pulling off. And what the hell was that? Jason Garrett's probably like, oh my God, that's not what I pictured. Not what I pictured at all.
And this comment right here, guys, this is why you go and you sub Kidblue up, you go and you sub PTA up, and you come to our respective channels when we be having these streams. Share the stream out, guys. Speaking on X's and O standpoint, it's probably the best stream so far. We're only like 50 minutes in, but X's and O standpoint, it's probably the best stream so far. That wise, you guys are getting a lot of football knowledge here. Definitely share it out and all that.
Oh yeah, the Nick Gates time was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Hey yo, BBS. I'm sorry about that Nick Gates jersey. This dude's not it.
Yeah, bro, you're gonna need to sell that, bro. Yo, good thing that you didn't buy for yourself.
I told you guys. I told everybody.
Hey, listen, you shouldn't have made the bet. You shouldn't have made a bet.
KB, yo, listen, I was saying Shane Lemieux was going to be the star, so I was even more wrong than you, bro.
I was saying Shane Lemieux.
I was the one saying Shane Lemieux should be day one starter.
Listen, man, all I'm saying is good thing you didn't spend your own money on that jersey. OGR, I don't know what he's thinking right now. He bought Kidblue that jersey, bro.
I know it got back to him. I mean, he has to send it again. So I don't know.
Oh my God, he has to send it, bro. Just tell him to sell it, bro. Just sell it.
Sell it fast, man.
Nick Gates, even if he improves this year, I guarantee you, this man's not going to be a starter on any team next year.
Yo, listen. I don't like to be out on players, but I think I'm out on Nick Gates at center, man. Like he's gonna have to improve exponentially. Like he's going to have to prove so much for me to get back on the Knicks. I wasn't necessarily on the Nick Gates train in the first place, but he's gonna have to show me something, man. Because he lost me the week before when they were going for a fourth down. He didn't put his hand on the ball.
Right, but check this out. This is exactly the roller coaster ride we're going through with these sleeper offensive linemen that I warned everybody about. We were all excited about Bobby Hart, him being a 7th round pick.
Oh, I don't know about Bobby Hart, bro.
No, I mean, we had some people excited about Bobby because he blocked for Jameis Winston now. So, we had people excited for Bobby Hart. We had people excited for a Chad Wheeler. We had people excited for like the Jessamine Dunker dude. Who else were we throwing out there, man? Marshall Newhouse, he was a veteran, but we had a bunch of right tackles that we brought in that everybody was excited about. I mean, most notably Chad Wheeler. I mean, what was that? 2017, 2018? Everybody was excited about Chad Wheeler, right?
What do you say to this?
No off season. I ain't judging Gates yet. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I already know what we're getting in Nick Gates. He proved that last year that he can play everything. He's not good at anything. You understand what I'm saying? He can play everything. He's not good or great in anything. Now, I thought his best position is at guard. Now, I don't think the Giants will ever replace him for will replace a Will Hernandez or Kevin Zeitler for Nick Gates. I don't think that's ever going to happen. So right now, Nick Gates doesn't even fit this offense, quite frankly. He doesn't have a place on this offense. Our tackles are filled up. Even if Cam Fleming is booted out of there, they're not throwing Nick Gates in there. They're throwing Matt Parrott in there. Mm-hmm. So if you're not playing well at center, what are you good for? So because they're not putting you at guard. Hell no.
Here's the thing, right? And I want to get both of y'all thoughts on this. Since PTA, you got to dip soon. The Giants have made moves for some reason. I don't know why they're making practice squad moves. They basically replaced their practice squad quarterback and running back. Who is your or where is your priority right now? Are you trying to get another wide receiver that could actually get open, or are you looking at offensive line, or what are you doing?
I'm not looking for nothing. There's nothing out there. What are we talking about here?
Like, Corey Coleman. Bring him back.
I guess we can bring back Corey Coleman, but I mean, like, he's not signed anywhere, so doesn't that tell you everything you need to know? I mean, like, If he's that big of a weapon, why is he watching the game on Sunday with us? Like,
I honestly think people are scared of his injury prone tendencies, but I don't care. I freaking bring him in there. If he gets hurt, he gets hurt. Good. We use you for 2 games.
This man said you were disposable.
On to the next one.
This is what I said on my podcast. On my live stream, and I'm gonna end with this, okay? Because I do got to roll out. But don't get attached to nobody, okay? Because I'm not getting attached to anybody on this team.
Right.
Don't get attached to nobody, and definitely don't get attached to anybody on the streets. Don't get attached to nobody, okay? There is nothing out there that's going to make this team better, or it's going to turn this team around right now. Nothing, all right? What's going to happen is this, all right? We're going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to lose, but we're going to continue to fight. And that's all that matters.
That's all that matters right now, man.
That's all that matters.
No,
right
here's
now.
the thing, PTA.
The reason, but we're fighting, baby.
Bro, here's the
fighting.
thing.
Fighting.
The reason everybody was so angry with this week's loss is because we didn't fight to the end. So we need to get back to that.
Oh no, we didn't. We listen. They definitely gave up. You can see that like third quarter they were like, screw it.
And let me tell you, understandably so in that last game, because they were out there forever. I mean, Jesus, they thought it would never end.
Yeah,
I mean, I would probably get gassed out too. They had their hands on their damn hips, and Daniel Jones just like chilling, and not even breaking a sweat because he's never been out there on the field that long.
100%. Like, listen, that's Giants fans. I know y'all mad. I know y'all sick of this. I'm sick of this. Kidblue sick of this. Kush is sick of this. We're all sick of this. Okay, we are all sick of this. Please don't take our positivity. Please don't take our positivity as complacency
or like excusing anything.
Exactly.
But we have to be honest about our situation, okay? This team was not ready to compete from the jump, okay? It's just not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if you came into this thinking that this was going to be a great season. It was doomed to fail from the very beginning because everything is new. Okay.
Yes. So in my opinion, it got doomed once COVID hit and it derailed everything.
Well, yeah, that too. This season was doomed for us to not win a bunch of games. I've been saying that this entire time. All we should care about is this team getting better for the future. We're sick about hearing about the future, pesky analysts. We want to win now. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I'm hurting your feelings by giving you a truth sandwich. It's not going to happen. So sit down, watch the game, okay? Pay attention to the players, see who's playing well, see who we can use next year and the year after that, and let's just focus on building this team. And maybe the people who are making the decisions are going to be different. Oh, well. Yeah. Let's just see what happens. Hey, guys, I appreciate y'all letting me come in here for a quick 30, man. I wish I could stay longer, but I got some other stuff going on, and I gotta bounce around a bit, man. But I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate everybody in the chat. Thank you guys for letting me come in here and rock with y'all, man. Seriously.
Appreciate it for coming in, man. Guys, go over to PTA's channel, sub them up, man.
Thank you. Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good one. Take care. Go Giants.
Go Giants, baby.
So yeah, PTA leaving on actually a really good note there, because I know a couple of y'all, if not all of y'all, probably getting tired of hearing me and KB say, "Oh, don't worry, it's gonna get better. Don't worry, they're still fighting." Don't mistake it for complacency. It's the same thing with DJ. Me and KB have been defending DJ since week 1, but like you saw, we do have our wits end. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't continue to defend boneheaded plays, but at the same time, it's like the dude. It's make a play or make no play. You know what I'm saying? It's like two evils.
It's hard, man. It's hard. I think that's what Daniel Jones is thinking too. He wants to be the hero, right? And I don't think it's a conscious. I think it's subconscious. I think he's sitting here like, hey, I know myself. I know my abilities. I'm gonna go out there and leave it all on the field. And he's just trying to do too much. And it's unfortunately risk takers. Brett Favre, Eli Manning, guys like that. They're gunslingers. Sometimes you hit it, sometimes you miss it. You throw a ball downfield in a risky situation, the Mario Manningham play, the David Tyree play, the Plaxico Burress play. These are risks that you make. And if those were interceptions, I guarantee you everybody would say those are terrible decisions, but they hit it, by us, some luck, some talent, a little mixture of both, But unfortunately, right now, Daniel Jones has no luck because there's not enough talent to make the luck,
Yo, if it makes you feel any better, I say look, commenting this, bro. NFC East is the NFC least, bro. The current record for the division, I think, is like 2-9-1.
Yes. We are still one game out, my friends. Let's just keep that in mind.
The 0-3 New York Giants are one game out of the lead of the NFC East, bro.
Absolutely. So if we beat the Rams, we're not going to beat the Rams. But if we beat the Rams,
if in an alternate universe where we beat the Rams,
yes, we will be in first. We will be tied for first, but we don't have the tiebreaker because Washington beat Philly. So we will be technically in second place, but still technically in first. So let's just think about that, guys. Yeah. Just think about that as we're losing. As we're getting blown out 50-0, just think about that.
Speaking of getting blown out, how many sacks is Aaron Donald getting, bro?
3.
How many sacks are the Rams getting?
6.
All right, where are the other 3 coming from? How many are coming from Leonard Floyd?
I'll say he gets 1.
And then like Samson Ebukam gets another or something.
Yeah, I'll say they use some corner blitzes, some linebacker blitzes, and stuff like that. But I'll say Aaron Donald gets himself 3.
Well, what is Jalen Ramsey doing? Is he just locking up or is he getting a pick?
Oh God, Darius Slay's not gonna have a catch. Don't start on my fantasy. Oh my God, don't do it. Jalen Ramsey has such freaking deceivable speed, right? Underrated speed that you wouldn't think a big corner has. He will keep up with Darius Slayton. And I guarantee you they'll put a safety over him. If anything, if worse comes to worse. They know how to play defense there in Los Angeles. So, I do see us maybe – this is crazy to say. I do see us maybe scoring more than 16 points, possibly. I think at some point it has to happen. I think
that's going to be the first time in the season.
They have to go back to their drawing board. Listen, there's going to be a time in this season where we score more than 16 points. If we don't score more than 16 points the rest of the season, we'll have the worst offense in NFL history. No doubt about it. So there has to be at some point that, and I don't know if it'll be adrenaline. I don't know if it'll be luck. I don't know if it'll just be a bad trap game. But the Giants will score over 16 points on somebody this year, and we have all tough opponents. So it's going to happen to somebody. So hopefully it happens next week, and we get a good glimpse about, and if the Giants perform good on offense next week, I will be happy.
You're talking about the offense not even rebounding, just bounding because they were never there to begin with. Does the defense rebound? Because the defense took a huge step back last week.
Let me tell you what. I think the defense is just getting tired. That's what it is. I think they if you think about it,
here's my rebuttal to that. And the one thing I was angry with the defense is that they got tired at halftime. Not even in the third quarter. They got tired at halftime.
Remember, it was 20 minutes.
I'm talking mentally tired. They gave up at halftime. Yeah. I can't deal with that.
Oh, yeah.
Physically, that's understandable. But they were mentally done at half.
Of course, but that ties into it. If you're gasping, have your hand on your hips by halftime, I mean, damn. Damn. 20 minutes in 2 quarters, that's freaking unheard of, bro. The offense out there for 7 minutes and 34 seconds by half. I mean, your offensive player must have not broken a sweat there.
I can guarantee you they ain't break no sweat, bro.
That's nothing. And so I understand why the defense. Look, if you think about it, in the first half, that touchdown that they scored, was it a touchdown or a field goal that they scored at the end, came because, bad field position, and, the Giants offense should not have allowed that field position. The Giants defense did not play bad in the first half. It's when the Giants offense kept giving the opposing offense opportunities, and then that's when the defense started to get gas. I think the defense, so far 3 out of 3, the defense has been coming out strong in these first 3 games. It's later on they start to give out. And
so what are you expecting from the defense week 4?
I think they're going to be just fine. Let me tell you what. Any game where for the Giants in particular, any game for the Giants where the offense is doing well and they're moving and they're controlling time of possession, that defense is going to play hard. I guarantee you. We're going to have some weak spots. I get it. They need to stop matching up Darnay Holmes on tight ends, which is stupid. They need to, they need to figure out what's going on with Corey Ballentine and Isaac Yadam, because those are key weaknesses there. They got to figure out Devontae Downs and his coverage. Him understanding zone concepts, because he's good against the run, he's terrible against the pass. So they need to they have some weaknesses. Every defense has them, but they're a pretty damn good defense. And just looking at them, especially on the defensive front. That's a defensive front I'm looking at on film that looks good, and I haven't seen that in a long time. They look good. Mm-hmm. It's the back end that has a little trouble. So what I will say is,
what do you think about giving? Speaking of that front, giving Marcus Golden a little bit more snaps, because he's been missing.
I'd probably give Marcus Golden a little bit more snaps. You know who I haven't seen really make an impact? O'Shane Ximines.
The thing is, though, right? I've seen Ximines on the field more times than I could count Marcus Golden.
Right. I've seen Ximines on the field about the same amount of times I see Lorenzo Carter. And O'Shea's been doing nothing this year. And Lorenzo Carter has a sack. Lorenzo Carter almost had a sack in week 1. I mean, he's been getting constant pressure. Lorenzo Carter is just fine. I would give some split snaps to O'Shane and Marcus Golden, see what happens there.
I was never happy with the fact that O'Shane is technically a starter over Golden in the first place.
Yeah, I know.
I still believe that if Golden gets starting snaps, he's gonna do what he did last year. You know what I'm saying? Especially now with the defense actually being better than it was last year. I hope they actually split some time now. So far, Ximines isn't really doing anything, but for whatever reason, Graham got him out there really playing chump change of time when it comes to it.
Right, and Wolf says Sean McVay says he's. Oh, you get the super chat first.
Shout out to Danny Thomas, man. Thank you for the $5 super chat, bro. He says finally subscribed. Well, thank you for the subscription, man. Sub up Kidblue as well if you're not. He says they need to run that RPO for. Yo, getting back to Jason Garrett real quick. It took him 3 weeks to run an RPO. It really took him 3 weeks to run an RPO.
You want to hear something crazy? I don't think it was him. I don't think it was him.
Who?
I think it was the guys upstairs, Mr. Gettleman and the owners, saying
they called on. They're like, yo, you better run an RPO.
No. I said I think they didn't want him to do it.
Oh, but why?
To protect him. I honestly, because remember with Pat Shurmur, you didn't get design runs with Daniel Jones. There wasn't a lot of those. I mean, that was the first actual RPO we've seen from the Giants with Daniel Jones. I think they wanted to protect Daniel Jones. I think they don't want to do that. They don't want to run those RPOs with Daniel Jones, but they need to get the ball moving somehow. Because remember, that was when they started to get desperate that they threw on those plays.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a worst comes to worst type of situation. But I think they want to protect Daniel Jones and make sure, because he doesn't really look like a guy that's going to be able to take the hits like a Cam Newton will. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a business decision. I think those were all front office decisions not to make those RPOs early on. I think they should do it. He definitely needs to learn how to slide. We mentioned that in the games.
He dived way too much. This man looks like he doesn't know how to slide out there.
Yeah, clearly agree.
Another thing on Garrett is that we only had one deep passing play in the entire game last week. And part of that is what we've been saying all stream, honestly, just you don't got the line to protect you to let the deep route develop, and you don't got the receiver to actually get separation. But you would think they would try to run it a little bit more than just one time in the entire game, a deep route play.
Right. Yeah, I would think, of course, deep routes are used. Sometimes when we see Daniel Jones dump it off to Wayne Gallman, you never know. Maybe Darius Slayton was running a deep route. He wasn't open, so I definitely think they should try doing that more. But remember, Jason Garrett's offense is run, throw the ball deep. Run, throw the ball deep. So he's that kind of offensive coordinator. So once you don't get the run game going, that's like 50% of his plays just gone. So he's got to kind of compensate for it and say, okay, what are these vanilla plays I could throw in here real quick?
Mm-hmm. And then to get to the last part of the super chat, he says, what are your thoughts on the cornerback from the Raiders? Keep it real with you. I said it on stream last night because that's when I learned about the signings. I've never heard of dude before, so I can't even say. Do you know anything about him?
You want to know what I think? I don't care. I don't care about the
I honestly don't know if he's better than Yadam or Ballentine, but once again, I don't know him.
He's going from one practice squad to another practice squad. I don't care who's on our practice squad besides the 1,001 wide receivers on it. So, I mean, I guess, I don't know. But the one comment I wanted to bring up was Wolves. I know you guys talked about this earlier on the stream before I got here. Sean McVay said he is concerned about the Giants defense. It's cookie cutter stuff.
Yeah, I literally said the same thing. I'm like,
It's everything that, coaches are always going to give credit to the other because they don't want any controversy being on ESPN. Well, Sean McVay said this defense was garbage.
Because
So
if Sean McVay was about to speak the truth, he would have just been like, because the question was, how are you preparing for the Giants? He's like, oh, you got to be concerned for that defense. He was talking about the truth. He'd be like, oh, I'm about to rest down, bro. Aaron Donald's about to play like 50% of snaps. I'm going to have Jared Goff out there for like the first half, and then we're going to run the backups if he was being truthful.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Cincinnati, that year where Patriots were constantly going, we're on to Cincinnati. We're on to Cincinnati. I don't think Cincinnati was a good team that year. Of course, he's just he's gonna give the respect to.
I think that was 2016. So I think that was the year Cincinnati fell off their playoff runs.
Yeah. So, Bill Belichick said that, of course, to stir the controversy away from whatever it was geared towards, and constantly talk about, oh, we're on to Cincinnati, they're a tough opponent, whatever, la la la. They'll say that about any team. I guarantee you, nobody when the Browns went 0-16, and then the next year when they said, oh, you're facing the Browns, what are you going to do? Nobody said, well, piece of cake, we're going to do this. Piece of cake, they're a garbage team. Every coach is going to say, well, they got some good players on defense, and their offense is pretty good, and we have a tough game ahead of us. We got to get prepared. We got to get ready. It's so. I always want to kind of, pay attention to these coaches' interviews and press conference, and even the players' press conference. But they're so cookie cutter. It's so
you
BS.
Can't get nothing from them anymore.
Yeah, you can't get any information from anybody anymore. They're not straight up anymore. Like back in the day, you always see some controversial stuff.
And it's starting to become that way in the NBA too. Like in the NBA beforehand, like sometimes players would keep it real and whatnot. Now it's just, if you want to see them keep it real, just go on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, look, Giants Opinion Sports says rumors are Gruden is heated. Judge took that corner. Well, you know what? If Gruden loved him so much, he'll put him on the active roster, and he won't be, and you can't grab him up there.
Yeah, and then Giants Opinion Sports also said Golden's only get 20% of the snaps this year. That's crazy because last year he had like 60% or something.
Well, remember, I think we were all expecting that because first of all, it took him a while to get signed here. And second of all, it seemed like they were very invested in the two young edge rushers we have in Lorenzo Carter and O'Shane. And as soon as we signed them, we all said we're okay with him getting limited snaps to let these guys, develop. So we guess we have to stick to our word here. No,
I wasn't saying that. I wanted Marcus Golden as a starter all day, bro. I kept it like there was a couple of stuff where it's like we agree on most stuff, but Marcus Golden, because I have such confidence in him, is starting to waver. I won't lie to you. It's starting to waver because he's not making an impact. But in the back of my mind, I know this is a big reason as to why he's not making an impact. But I preferred Marcus Golden to start over either one of them. Didn't matter which one, just over either one of them because he proved that he could get the sack.
Yeah, over O'Shane all day. I think Lorenzo Carter is really good this year. Not really, really good.
Bro.
What?
Bro,
what?
Check out my video saying Lorenzo Carter is going to break out this year. I made that in April, bro. I made that in April.
Yeah, I have made a breakout video. He was one of my guys on there too.
Shout out to Josh Valencia, Miami Dolphins fan, and also originally KB fan with a $3 super chat. Thank you, Josh. He says, "What up, Kidblue in the hug? Good luck this week, yo." Josh coming off a pretty good win.
We need all of it.
Josh coming off a pretty good win against the Jaguars, which I think everybody was surprised by.
Yeah, they got a tough task against Seattle this week, man. But hey, you never know. They lost Chris Carson.
Yeah. Stop it. As if the Dolphins have a chance against the Seahawks. Are you kidding me?
Miami's actually been pretty good against the run this year. So
nah. I'm gonna stop the cap, bro.
Oh, no, hold on. I'm not saying they're gonna win. I'm not gonna say they're going. Man, let me just wish good luck to my man. Does Josh Valencia really think that we're gonna beat the damn Rams? He's giving us good luck, man. But
you're like, yo, the way you said, you're like, Chris Carson is out, you never know what's gonna happen.
Hey, I'm saying you never know if they compete. Okay, good. Hey, Josh, good luck to your team this week too, man.
Yeah, Josh, good luck to you guys, man.
I know you don't think that the Giants are gonna win against the Rams. I respect it, man. Okay, I respect
it. Yo, the 3 games this week that I looked at when I looked at the week 3, that week 3 schedule, that I'm like, this is gonna be a bloodbath. Obviously Rams at Giants, Seahawks at Dolphins, and Ravens at Redskins, or Ravens at Washington. I was like, these 3 games
are gonna be pissed that they lost to Kansas City like they did, and they're gonna take it all out on the Redskins.
Yo, which is gonna be the worst game, bro? Which is gonna be the biggest blowout, bro?
Biggest blowout is, I think, Baltimore Washington football team. Just because
It's the biggest gap. It's the
yeah.
biggest gap. Yeah.
13.5 spread. The Giants are at 13 too. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Damn, we're that bad.
Shout out to Ben in the chat, bro. He got a new profile pic. Who's that, Ben?
She really fired though.
I think the last one was more fire, but that's just me.
I didn't see the last one. I don't remember the last one.
The last one was the actress. Forgot her name.
Oh, yeah, there was an actress. Oh yeah, it was an actress. Who was it?
Woodley.
Shailene Woodley. Yeah, now she's fired too. So
yeah.
I don't know who that is. Who is that girl? That is she actress?
This might be a random. Oh my god, that's a Ligma.
I love the profile picture.
This might be a random. I don't know, Instagram model or something.
Random influencer.
Random influencer. Yo, listen. Ti says all three will be ugly blowouts.
Oh yeah.
If there's any like 2 or 3 games you're looking at this week, I don't know if you had your pick'em video out yet. I had mine out today.
I have to record mine with my cousin. But let's see.
If there's any games from there you would lock in and say this team is definitely winning, give me 2 or 3 of them.
Seattle at Miami. I'm sorry, Josh Valencia. I know I just wish you good luck, but that's one of my locks this week. Baltimore at Washington is one of my locks, and my last lock is Cleveland at Dallas.
You're thinking Cleveland's winning at Dallas?
Oh, Dallas gonna kill Cleveland.
Oh, I was about to say. No, you said Cleveland at Dallas. So I was like, hold up.
Yeah, Cleveland at Dallas, and they're going to Dallas.
So, okay. How you got that game rundown? Actually, shout out to Josh Valencia once again. Thank you, Josh, for the $5 super chat this time. He says, I know the odds aren't in favor to beat Seattle, but win or lose, I'm still up. That's literally us.
That's literally us this week, my friend.
that is literally us, bro.
We're in the same boat together, bro.
This game might 100%.
We're at the bottom of the power rankings together. Right in between the Jets is me and you. That's it.
I don't know if the Dolphins are that low, but yeah, the 2 New York teams are 31 and 32 right now.
Yeah, where are the Dolphins? I think they're like 28th.
Yeah, but yo, listen, bro. Literally us, bro. All right. This game might legitimately be 2017, 51-17. We'd be lucky if we scored 17 points. Because then that's KB what he's saying.
Yeah, can we? Can we score 17 points? I'll be excited. Nah. Can we? I'll be excited if we do, man.
You know how I usually have my bold predictions in my previews? My bold prediction this week for the offense. Bold prediction, not realistic one, is that we score more than 16 points. That's the bold prediction. Can you imagine? Did you ever think it would get to that before the season began, bro?
Oh God, you're yawning now. Giants put me to sleep, man. Garbage team, garbage.
Oh yeah, but yes, talk about that Cleveland and Dallas game. I think it's gonna be closer. I don't know what the odds are favoring right now. I did pick Dallas as well, by the way, but I think it's gonna be kind of an offensive shootout in my opinion.
I honestly think because I think Cleveland only went off against teams that are really bad. Now, don't get me wrong. Dallas sucked on defense. Like, they allow a lot of points. But Dallas seems to be unstoppable on offense this year. They're scoring an ungodly amount of points, which I predicted this year. That's just I told everybody that they're going to be impossible to stop on offense, and they are. And so Dallas is going to put up too much points for Cleveland to keep up. I don't think Cleveland has the firepower. Yes, Cleveland has the best offense on paper, probably. Odell, Jarvis.
Dallas definitely has the best offense on paper.
Probably. Yeah, but they probably have a good paper offense to compete, right? Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham, Austin
Hooper. Of Kareem Hunt looking good this year.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt's looking good. And so, they have firepower. I just don't think they're going to be able to keep up with Dallas. I just don't see it. So I have the game being 41-35. So I think it's going to be a shootout.
Yeah, that is a shootout still, yeah.
It's still a shootout, but it's still a good gap of a win for Dallas. I think Dallas is just going to kill them. So
yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a shootout as well. But yeah, you got a bigger gap than I would. I still got Dallas winning. I think I had them 38-31 or something like that, which actually –
that's right around the same gap. Actually, you have a bigger gap than I do.
Yeah, I do actually have a bigger gap than you do.
Yeah, I have a 6-point gap. You have a 7-point gap.
Oh, would you look at that? Maybe subconsciously, I'm like, this is not going to be as close as I think it is.
Yeah.
Nerding Out Sports coming in with the positivity. He says, we only need 9 Graham Gano field goals to have a chance to win Sunday.
Let's do it. Every time we get to the 30 or the 40, just bring out Graham Gano out there and let's try our luck, okay?
Yo, that's a strategy at this point, bro, because we're terrible in red zone.
I think that, dude, back in the day, a couple of years ago, I remember Kansas City scored like the most field goals in one game before.
Yeah, it was like 5 or 6, right?
Something like that, where they got up to like 36 points or something like that, like basically just on field goals. And I think that was the year that not one wide receiver scored a touchdown. Like it was a crazy year for that year for Kansas City, and they still did well.
I think that was probably right before they got Alex Smith, or like maybe the first year they got Alex Smith.
Yeah, no, they had Alex Smith for about 2 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is when I was still I think I was a senior in high school, so that's like 2015, something like that.
Jesus
but
Christ.
they had a game. They had a game where they I forgot who they played.
That low key, that's gonna be the Giants one of these games, bro. All we do is kick field goals.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, I would just do it. Just do it.
At this point, yo, if we get down to the 30-yard line, it's 1st and 10. Yo, Graham Gano, bro. Go.
For real.
Get us those 3 points, bro.
1st and 10 at the 30. I'm not even screw it. Daniel, get the hell back on the damn thing.
Get out here, bro. Offensive line, get off the field.
Make sure you start Graham Gano on all your fantasy leagues.
This man, Graham Gano.
Get that ball, boy. GG.
Yo, if we actually do that, we might actually have a better chance of winning games because then we'll be scoring.
Tell me about it. You're not even lying on that one. That's not even an over-exaggeration.
Oh, my God. So according to Edward Chan, the Jets and Cowboys are the only team with a run over 15 yards. I find that hard to believe.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, I find that hard to believe, bro.
No, because the Browns in week 1 ran a big gain on Baltimore. And that was when they had that one big gain and then they finished. Lamar Jackson had a 32-yard run like on one day.
I find that hard to believe, man.
Yeah.
Giants Opinion Sports talking to the Jets.
Without a 15-yard run.
All without. Yo, we sleepy, bro.
Yeah, we are tired. Oh, yeah. For real? The Cowboys? Oh, snap.
When did the Giants have a 15-yard run? Was that last week with the RPO?
That was the first one was Saquon and that like 20-yard gain he had. Something like that. Remember before he got hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah, like one.
Don't remind me about him getting hurt, bro. Yeah, this man actually looked good right before he got hurt.
Yeah, he had that one big gain, and then we ran the ball again. He hurt his wrist. He came out for a play. Then he broke. Then he tore his.
No, it was his shoulder. I thought he dislocated his shoulder.
Oh no, I thought it was a wrist injury.
Whatever it was, it looked like he landed awkwardly on his shoulder.
Like yeah, he landed like that.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, guys, we're gonna go for probably 8 more minutes. Ended right on 11 on the dot. Get your last questions in here. We're gonna run it until then. Why is Josh Valencia's?
That's an interesting stat, man.
Like I still see Josh Valencia's $3 super chat here for some reason. Even not his $5 one.
It showed up as red.
Yeah.
And red means like 50 and over, so maybe he disguised it as 2. I don't know.
If he disguised it as that, I would be supremely happy. I would be so happy. So according to Giants Opinion Sports, Zeke got paid and retired.
Listen, as a lot of players do.
Zeke got paid. What is he doing this season? Because Dak is going off again, just like last year.
Yeah, hey man, that's I mean, I didn't expect it to happen. I don't think anybody did. Like Dak is out to prove something, man.
Dak is out to prove something. You know who else is out to prove something?
Who's that?
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen. Oh my God. I apologize. Yeah, let me bring something up. Strong opinion. You know what Strong Opinion Sports is, right?
Yeah, you wanna do like a public apology or something right now?
No, he was on board with me. Like we had the same opinion basically. Yeah. So, back when Josh Allen was drafted, he wasn't around YouTube at the time, but I was, and I constantly said Josh Allen sucked and he's a bust and he's gonna be terrible because he don't know how to throw the ball, but he throws the ball like a freaking 100% accuracy when he's on the run for whatever reason. You got to go back to Wyoming film and Josh Allen. He threw the worst freaking passes in the pocket, but threw absolute lasers. Like you would drop your jaw when he was on the run. Like, why can't you do that in the pocket? I don't know. But so he had flash, but he was throwing for I think he averaged like 200 yards a game. Mm-hmm. Oh, in a Mountain West division, got to be kidding me. You should be throwing for more yards than that. So he had a bunch of games where he threw for 200, 188, 194, whatever. And so I thought he was going to be a complete bust. Now he comes out, he's leading the league in yards, and not like a Lamar Jackson thing where he's leading the league in touchdowns because all those are flukes. But He's throwing the ball well. And Zach Shalmer even said it. Like, I was proven wrong on eating my words. I'm like, damn, I got to eat my words too. Because I had the same opinion and I thought he was trash. And he's legitimately a good quarterback this year.
How good is he? Because he's one, the way his production numbers
Is
are.
MVP level. Right now, I think Russell Wilson's on top.
I think Russell Wilson's going to get the MVP.
But here's the thing. I don't think he will get it. You know why? Because Josh Allen's coming out of nowhere. And they do that all the time. Patrick Mahomes.
You know what's funny? My thing is, like, I feel like they would give it to Russ because of the story of he's never gotten one before, even though he's consistently been one of the best, if not the best quarterbacks over the past 5 years.
How many passes he has so far this year?
How much?
He's leading NFL history by week 3 with 14 touchdown passes.
Russell or Josh?
Russell Wilson has 14 touchdown passes this year
in 3 weeks.
He broke NFL records. He's now the NFL leader in touchdown passes through 3 games.
He keeps that up. He's gonna have a 2018 50 touchdown Mahomes type season.
Yeah, people were wondering, can he break his 50 touchdown record? Ooh, I don't know. Well, Peyton Manning has 55 touchdowns in 1 year.
Yeah, Peyton has 55 from 2013, I think.
I cannot. That year, I'm sorry, Peyton Manning. Even in 2013 or no 20. It was it 2013? No, it was 2014. 2014 where he had that 55 touchdown.
No, that was 2013, bro, because that was the same year they went to the Super Bowl. Yeah, they went to Super Bowl 48.
Yeah, that was 2015 then.
2015 was Super Bowl 50.
2015 was
when the offense was bad. He already fell off.
All right, so yeah,
it's 2013, bro.
Really?
Because he was injured in 2014 or something.
Hold on. Peyton Manning, because in 2013 I was still living in New York, and he had broke the record when I was living in Florida.
Let's see.
Peyton Manning, 55 TD season stats. But anyway, yeah, Russell Wilson's killing it.
Yeah, it was 2013, and then in 2014,
really?
Yeah, 2014 he threw 39, and then he got injured, I think.
Okay.
One of those seasons he got injured.
But I don't care. That was fluke. I mean, Peyton Manning was great. But his latter years, I mean, he just depended on the guys around. Like Demaryius Thomas was a complete beast back then. Emmanuel Sanders, that running game was good. So, but I mean, same thing with Patrick Mahomes, I guess. But Patrick Mahomes was doing things a lot himself. But anyway, Russell Wilson is probably going to break it this year. I mean, 14 touchdown passes.
I mean, it's difficult to keep up, but let's keep it real. Russell Wilson, he's the best or one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And he deserves the MVP. I actually thought last year he should have gotten it over Lamar. I really did think that he needs it because when we break it down to most valuable player, it's the same thing in the NBA. They don't give it to the actual MVP of the league. They just give it to the best player on the best team usually, right?
Right.
He should have gotten it last year because the Seahawks are not in the playoffs if Russell Wilson doesn't do what he did last year for them.
Oh my God, yeah. I completely agree. And Russell Wilson was like 32 right now.
Yeah.
He's getting up there, man. He's getting up there. Give it to him, man. That's one of my favorite players in the league right now. I used to hate the Seahawks, not because of him. I used to hate the Seahawks because of the LOB.
Yeah, me too.
I couldn't stand them. Oh my God.
I hated the LOB so much.
I hated Richard Sherman. I hate everybody on that team besides Russell Wilson. Like, he's the only guy I would root for. But like, I would root for them to lose, but Russell Wilson have a great game. Mm-hmm. So Russell was one of my favorite guys out there.
Yo, low-key, my actual NFC Championship game prediction is rematch 2014. I think it's going to be Packers Seahawks again.
Yeah.
What are you going to?
Actually, that makes sense because the Saints don't look the same.
After that Week 2 game against the Raiders, I was just like, Saints look trash, but for their standards, they look trash, bro.
They're 1-2 right now, man.
And they got probably the most penalty yards in the NFL, I think. That was what lost them that game against the Raiders.
Right.
They got so many penalty yards. They kept giving the football back to the Raiders, and the Raiders kept giving it back to Josh Jacobs to control the time of possession.
And, Giant Opinion Sports brings up a good comment. Bring in Allen Robinson next year. Here's the thing.
Isn't Allen Robinson going to be like top 5 wide receiver money for not a top 5? Like, he's a top 10 wide receiver, but you're going to have to pay him.
Right. So that's an interesting idea, but I don't think he will want to come here just because he's tired of dealing with quarterbacks that can't get their head on straight. So he's had to deal with Mitch Trubisky and Blake Bortles, and he's very vocal about those guys. He's actively said he does not like those guys before, like in practices where people get him mic'd up, and I guess he didn't notice he was. But yeah, I've seen it in practice with Blake Bortles, and I think back in Chicago, he would just kind of go like this, wave his hands up at Mitch Trubisky all the time. So like how Odell did to Eli Manning in his latter years. So yeah, he does not want. He wants to come play for a really good quarterback. So I don't think he would want to come here.
Even if he did, going back to that, it's going to be more money than we could afford. And for a receiver that's not actually like Allen Robinson is a great receiver, but he's not top 5. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's see. What do you think about this? I think for sure Ingram needs to be replaced. What about Shepard?
No, I said this last year. I was like, Shepard's gonna get hurt again, and I thought it would be a concussion. It's his freaking toe. Oh god. cut the damn toe off and come back on the field, man. Please, just get rid of it. Pull a freaking. I mean, who was it? They cut their fingers off just to play.
JPP. Wasn't it JPP?
No, but it was somebody else that he said. No, it was Rod Woodson. He's missing. He's missing a finger. He said, "I will rather amputate it," because they said he can't play with his finger. You're not gonna be able to play. He said, "Cut it off."
One of the greatest cornerbacks in NFL history.
Yes. They said, I said, "Cut it off. I'm gonna play." So that's right. I think it was Rodney Lott. Rodney Lott. There we go. Not Rod Woodson. I'm thinking about two different Steelers there. But Rodney Lott was a Steeler, or was he a 49er? Something like that.
I don't know. Josh Valencia once again with a really good question. No, not at this point. I wouldn't. No. Even at the beginning of the year when he was healthy, I wasn't going to extend him on a Zeke type contract, 20 mil. No.
Right, but I'll tell you right now, it's not even his fault.
Yeah.
It's not his fault. I would not extend Saquon because we're not. This sounds weird to say. We are not worthy.
Bro,
we are not
listen.
Saquon
It's so sad for me to say this because I've had fans tell me this the moment we drafted him. We're wasting his prime. I've had people tell me that from day one we drafted him, that the Giants are going to waste his prime. That's exactly what's happening.
I'll tell you right now, you put him on a team, 49ers, the Steelers.
You put him on the Steelers, they're in the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
You put him on the 49ers.
The ball.
Yeah.
They know how to run the ball. You put him on the 49ers right now. They don't have a legit, like,
you put him on the 49ers.
He's
let's say that they don't have all the injuries they do. They're probably winning the Super Bowl because they were at the Super Bowl last year without him.
Right. So sad stuff, man. Sad stuff. We don't deserve him, man. We don't.
So the Giants opinion sports saying we haven't wasted anything. The guy always gets hurt. We low key have. It's a mixture of both. We low key really have wasted.
Why did he get hurt? I mean, let's ask the real question. Why did he get hurt? Let's not talk about the last year's injury because that was a non-contact injury. I understand that. He only missed 3 games. Okay, let's be real. That injury, on top of that, where he hurt his shoulder or wrist that first time, where was anybody blocking for him? Nobody. He had to do it all himself. When he tore his ACL, was anybody blocking for him? No, he had to do it all himself. He got hurt this year because our blockers are trash. That's why he got hurt this year, because he's left to do it all himself. Listen, when he got that handoff, when he tore his ACL, when he got that handoff, he already had guys in the backfield. He had to try to bounce it outside to try to get something out of it, So that's why he got hurt. Nobody's there to help him. You're a running back. You're supposed to have help.
Mm-hmm.
He's not injured. I promise you guys. I swear to you guys, he's not injury prone. If we found a way to protect him, he would be slicing through defenses like knife through butter. He wouldn't even have contact with any of these guys. It would be like Washington. It'd be like Giants versus Washington on those like 14 carries for like almost like 170 yards, something like that, right? He was untouched. That's how good Saquon can be when he's got the right blockers. When he's untouched, he's not injury prone because nobody's touching him. So he's that good. He can make guys miss and not touch him at all. It's just that we can't get the right blockers in there for that to happen. So
Barkley needs to do yoga to prevent these injuries.
Well, I mean, listen, this offensive line needs something.
This offensive line needs to just do their job. But that's going to be it for tonight, guys. We went for the usual 1.5 hours. I actually went over it a little bit. It was a great stream. We had PCA coming for half an hour. That was really fun. And y'all actually, I know a lot of y'all got smart today with that little bit of like 15 minutes of football knowledge, talking X's and O and whatnot. You already know what it is. KB, any last words?
No, man. I'm just listen, guys. I'm gonna come out with a video soon about Daniel Jones, and I know I had my rant out that everybody's viewed. It has freaking. I don't even know how. I didn't expect it to get a lot of views because I even put a thumbnail on it. It got a lot of views, and everybody's thinking that I don't like Daniel Jones anymore. Well, I'm on the tank for Trevor. Even though I mentioned I'm not on the tank for Trevor thing in that video, but I'm gonna give a little bit of defense of Daniel Jones. I'm gonna mention the whole Duke situation. How I think this is very reminiscent of his time at Duke. And hopefully we will get people back on the Daniel Jones. I'm here for Daniel Jones, man. I'm here to support
If
him.
you could somehow fit it in, and if you could find evidence for this, maybe even say, yo, Darius Slayton's reminiscent of his time at Auburn with the plays he's being given.
Right. So, yeah, I'm going to try to do what I can for the Daniel Jones bandwagon. So,
And since we're reminiscing a little bit, this season in general just reminds me of 2017.
I mean,
and we might go 3-13 again. I don't want to say we are, but we might.
Let me tell you, in 2017, we actually at least we scored points. Crying out loud! I mean, we had
how many points did we really score in 2017? Like I know we were not a good offense, man.
Yeah, for sure we weren't a good offense. Let me look at the exact schedule.
Just bring up the first 3 weeks. That's all we need. Just get the first 3 weeks. Let's get the first 3 weeks from 2017.
All right, so in 2017, this is 2016 or 2017? No, this is 2016, right? No, it's 2017. Wait, what? Okay, in 2017, we played. Yeah, that's 2016. What the freak? I asked for the 2017 one, not the 2016. 2017 Giants season. We went 3-13 with Ben McAdoo. All right, so okay, in week 1, week 1 we lost 19-3.
There you go.
Week 2 we lost 24-10. So you know what? We were a lot better on offense.
19-3. Who did we play week 1?
The Cowboys.
Jesus Christ.
And then the Lions we faced and got beat 24. I remember that game, and freaking Jamal Agnew running back that punt return. That kicked.
And then week 3, bro, 27-24, and we lost that field goal.
Hey, we scored 24 points though.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. And then October 1st, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we lost. I went to that game. I was pissed. Oh my God.
That was another field goal game.
Oh yeah, and Tampa Bay had field goal problems up the butt that year and the year prior. And
that was the year Nick Folk became a meme, bro.
Yes, that was the
year
one.
Nick Folk became a meme.
That was the one field goal they actually hit, and I was so confident they were gonna miss it too. So confident. I was like, we won this game 23-22. I was freaking yelling in the Tampa Bay Bucks fans' faces, yelling in their face because we're all like going crazy, delirious because it was raining outside too. So we were screaming each other's faces, and Nick Folk makes that kick, and I just had the ultimate walk of shame, bro. Ultimate walk of shame.
That's the year Nick Folk became a meme because of how many kicks he missed, bro. Right. Jesus Christ. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in once again. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Go over to Kidblue's channel, like them up, sub them up. We're out, man. We already went over time. Peace.
Later, guys.